Greetings, it's the New York Thrifter here, and today I'm starting a new series called Flipping 20, where I take $20 and I walk new resellers on eBay how to get started. So first off, go to your computer and you need an email address. A lot of people already have email addresses, however, I like a dedicated email address. So I'm going to create a new Google account. I am naming it Flipping 20 Challenge. My email address is going to be flipping20challenge@gmail.com. Anybody that wants to get a hold of me, please do. I will be checking this email. The first thing I'm going to do after I set up my Google account is I'm going to go to drive.google.com. And these are all of the Google Docs that you're going to be able to use. This is all a free service. So I'm going to create a document and I'm going to name it Passwords. And what I'm going to do here is all of the passwords I'm using for anything that has to do with this account, I'm going to put in one document because oftentimes people will write it down or they'll forget what they're using and it becomes a big hassle. And so I always have a document that says passwords where I put all of my usernames and all of my passwords on it in one place so I can easily find it again. So first up, I'm going to pop in that Gmail username. I'm not putting in my password for obvious reasons because this is going to be what I'm going to be using for this entire project. And next up, we are going to be going to PayPal. Now you are going to need a PayPal account to be an eBay seller. So once you log on to PayPal, you just want to go over to the right-hand side where it says you're going to sign up for a PayPal account. You're going to put in all of your information. Opening up a PayPal account requires you to either link it to a bank account or a credit or debit card. And so make sure you have these on hand when you are signing up for PayPal. And we're going back to the Google Doc where I'm going to be putting in my PayPal username and password. And then the next step that I take is I actually sign up for Pinterest. This was a little bit of a mistake. I meant to do all of the social networks after we get done with eBay. So this would be something that you can do now or later. And the reason I signed up for Pinterest is because this is a really great way to find styles and describe your clothes. So out of all of the social networks online, I believe I recommend 4 by the end of this video. Pinterest is one of them. And so you're just going to sign up and you're going to walk through the steps to become a Pinterest user. Now, I'm not going to go through how you're going to use Pinterest in this video. Instead, what I'm going to do is tomorrow's video where we do the actual listing of products. I'm going to come back to Pinterest and I'm going to show you how to properly use it in order to describe your items. Now here's what we've all been waiting for, going on to the eBay site. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to register. I'm registering as Flipping 20. However, they do later on ask me for my legal name because there is some legalities here. So I do that on another screen, but for right now I'm putting in my email account and my password and signing up for eBay. It also requires you to have a telephone number to put in. So once you sign up for eBay, you actually have to sign up for a seller account. And so here what I'm doing is, I found the easiest way to do it was just to Google eBay seller account getting started. And when you get to this page, you're going to see where there's a link to where it says set up your seller account. So what you want to do is you just want to click on that, and the page that you go to will have you give information like your PayPal account, and so they're linked. And so once you link those and you have a seller account, then you're directed to this page. And this is your seller hub. It gives all of the information about what standard you're at, how many items you're going to be able to list, and how much money you're going to be able to list those items for. There's a maximum that they cap off the amount. Now I'm at 1,000. I know some people are way lower than that. Some people start at 5, some people start at 100. Some people start at 1,000. So it just depends on what when you sign up, what they are allowing. So I scrolled down to the bottom to the promotional offers. And the reason I did this is we are not opening up a store quite yet for this challenge. And so I just wanted to show you that we do have some free insertion fees, because insertion fees, eBay charges you to list something on their site. However, with these free insertion fees, those are waived. And so we do have quite a bit to get us started with. So we're not going to owe eBay anything until we actually sell and they take those final seller's fee. So I'm back to my Google spreadsheet. I'm typing in all of my information on eBay. I'm also putting in the last of those social networks that we were talking about. So the first one was Pinterest. The next one is YouTube, which you're already familiar with since you're watching this on YouTube. And then we also have Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, there are several different groups. They're closed groups, so you have to apply to get in. You have to ask to get in. And so I write a couple down here that if you want to check out, the International League of Thrifters is a really good one, a very positive group I belong to. Lululemon A to Z is one that specifically talks about Lululemon. Different brands will have different groups where you can see, what they're selling and what's popular. So you definitely should check that out. On YouTube, there's a ton of different channels that I recommend. State's Place with Nicole State is probably the gold standard. She also helps out with Reseller Revolution. The Bin Pickers are a couple from California that are amazing resellers. Prof Sales is really fun. He's from the South, and he right now is focusing a lot on jeans, but he's got these great spreadsheets where he really explains how he's growing his business from that business standpoint with the spreadsheets and really tracking everything. And then on Instagram, if you wanted to sign up for that, that's a great place to find out what's trending, what's hot, what's going on in the reseller world and with clothing in general. So I put down a couple of hashtags and people using thrift store finds and some of these other hashtags, hashtag reseller. They're obviously doing reselling. There's also hashtag, I believe it's eBay Life, and they really discuss the ins and outs of their business and what they're doing day to day. So this next page that I'm going to open up is going to be about our shopping list for today. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head to the dollar store where we're going to buy supplies. A white poster board, envelopes, fragrance-free detergent, clear plastic bags, shipping tape, scissors, and a fabric tape measure. This is going to cost about $6 to $7 depending on if you have any of these items already, like scissors or detergent. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go shop for inventory at a thrift store. We're going to look for women's clothing that is gently used, weighing under a pound from well-respected name brands, and we want to spend $13 to $14. Finally, we're going to visit a Staples Center where we are going to bring our seller spreadsheet so we can write down some notes. And I'm going to be going through that later in the video. But first I want to show you the seller spreadsheet. I created this document where it has all the different information that you're going to need. This is all the information when you're listing on eBay, what you're going to need to put in to make sure that you give the buyer complete information about the item. And also it's going to give you information on your inventory about how fast things are selling, how much of a profit is being made on each one, so you can make really smart business decisions. For this video, we're going to focus on two things. We're going to list the items that we purchased, and we're going to list the shipping weight, because shipping weight is the number one way sellers can get in trouble on eBay. So first up, I went to my local Dollar Tree. If you don't have one, Walmart has some cheap items as well as some other local 99-cent stores. I headed towards the poster board. Now these poster boards, the really thin ones, were 50 cents each, and I like the one with a core, the foam core poster boards, and these are going to be used for photographing. So I did end up getting the thicker white foam core. These are some envelopes. We're going to be doing mailing, so I wanted to see what would be the cheapest The bubble mailers were a 2-pack for $1, where the non-bubble mailers were 6 for $1. So I got the non-bubble mailers for shipping. I went by the detergent and I found an Oxy detergent that didn't have any scent to it, so that's going to be important. We don't want our clothes to smell like anything. I grabbed some plastic bags because we need everything to be waterproof and weatherproof when it's shipped, some mailing tape, and then also some scissors. I actually did not end up getting the scissors because I already have a million pair. Now over here by the checkout is where I find the fabric measuring tape, and this is going to be very important. You need measurements for all of your garments. So after this, I headed to a local Salvation Army. I went here on the first was on a Wednesday, so they were having a half off sale. So all of the tags except white were half off. I looked around for color tags. I actually think every single thing I got was full price, but you're going to see the prices here are really good. Usually for me and my experience, Salvation Army tends to be a little bit less expensive than other thrift stores, including the Goodwill. And so here I'm going to fast forward through me looking through tops. Tops are pretty inexpensive and lightweight. And the reason I kept this clip in, I didn't grab any clothing from this, but I did go through an entire half of a rack and found absolutely zero. There were no brands that I really wanted to get, and this just proves, sometimes you have to look, and it just takes time, and you have to put in that time to find the clothes that are worth selling. Don't get discouraged. Just keep going around the store, checking out new items, and find things that you want to sell. So I do want to focus a little bit on the brands. And you're going to see this first couple are brands that I don't recommend. There was an Old Navy, a White Stag. This next one is going to be a Cherokee. These are all brands that when they're sold at big box stores like Walmart and Target and Kmart. Here's a Faded Glory. And there's just no resale value in them. They start out at really inexpensive prices, and you can't list them online for more than $1 or $2. So those aren't going to be the things that you want to sell. Aeropostale is another one where you can go to a store, and for brand new, you can get these things for well under $10. And so I do not recommend getting these. Here's a Forever 21, and it was $3, and the style was really cute. So this would be a potential buy, but in general, a Forever 21 is not something that you really want to get. These are two tees from Pure Energy. They're the same size, the same style. So this would definitely be something you would be able to bundle. So even though the brand name isn't great, having two or having a lot of items, LOT can be a good thing. There was some wear on that, so I decided not to get those. This is a Free People dress, and Free People does extremely well for resale. However, you can see the tag was busted. There was some weird balls at the top of the dress that I think somebody cut and tied off, so that was not something I was going to get. Chico's Travelers is a really respected brand. However, the tag was cut off, and so it would be a hassle to list. You wouldn't know the size. These are some Columbia shorts. Again, the tag is cut. This would be something you could definitely list and take measurements, but it's just a lot of hassle. Here's a Club Monaco sweater I really liked. However, it had some bad stains on the front, so I passed by that one. Here's Lane Bryant. Lane Bryant is a plus size line and does really well. However, you had ring around the collar that's just not going to come out, so I put that back. I found a J. Crew maxi dress that was really, really cute, but there was some stains on the underarm. And again, not going to come out. I could list it with the flaw, but I just don't think it would move very quickly. BCBG Max Azria dress, a really cute kind of empire waist with a great design. However, the fabric was destroyed. It had been washed so many times, and there was so much fading that there was just no way the resale value would be there. This is a Fila workout jacket. Workout clothes do really well for me. This is really bright, which could be a great selling feature. However, there was a few flaws to it, and when I looked up comps online, it just wasn't selling for very much. Here's a Lacoste tank top. Lacoste is a very expensive brand that does very well. But again, looking up comps, it was probably sell for under $10, so I did not end up getting it. Pearl Izumi is a biking brand, selling for under $10. Did not get that. Bowden can be a great brand if you can get it in a dress. Dresses sell for around 20, but the t-shirts are under 10, so I didn't get that. This was a great Banana Republic dress. Now, there is a question on Banana Republic. Do you get it? Do you not get it? It is a well-respected brand, but it's also pretty much everywhere. So it just comes down to what the style is and if you can look up comps and see how it does. Here is a J. Crew dress. J. Crew does very well for me. It is an expensive brand and it holds up resale very nicely. So this was a very good pick. No flaws on it. This was a 21 Hawthorne, very good brand, well respected, has great comps online. There was no flaws. It was a little bit wrinkled, but we're going to wash it anyway. So that was a really great pick. Here's a Talbot's. That's another question on whether to get these. This jacket was at a low price, so I wanted it, but it did have stains on it. Here's a Nike piece for only $3, which is a great price. I really liked it. It had a few stains. I might have been able to get them out, but we're going for easy here, so I decided to leave that one behind for now. Here's a loft skirt. I like loft. It does well for a lot of people. However, this was so wrinkled, there was just no way of getting those wrinkles out. Even washing and drying it probably wouldn't have done it. Here's another loft. I looked up comps. This was selling for under $10, so I decided not to get that. And here's a dress from London Times. Dresses have a great resale value online. And so this looked like a really good bet. It had a low price point and a really great colorful design. So after I purchased my pieces, I headed to Staples. And the reason I was here is we don't have a scale yet to weigh our items. All items that you sell through eBay must be weighed and you pay for shipping. Or you charge for shipping, either pay it yourself or charge your customer for shipping. And so you need to have very exact weight on all of your items. So what I did is I piled my items down and I got out my spreadsheet. And what I did here is I listed the item. And so for each of these, I go through all of my items and I write down what they are. So I bought 5 items today and that took me right to $14. After I got done listing all of my items on the spreadsheet, I walked over to the Staples scale. On my Staples, they keep this right out on the counter for anybody to use. So I placed all of the mailing materials that I was going to be using right there on top, plastic bag and the envelope for mailing. I placed the item right on top and I looked at everything together to find out how much it was going to weigh. And so that is the other part of the form that I filled out. Everything else on this form can be filled out when you get home, but the weight, you really need to know the weight to be able to list an item online. So I just went through every item that I had, I weighed each one, and I also know that there is going to be a label that gets affixed to each of these along with tape to tape down the label. So while I'm writing these are the actual weight of the item, I am going to round up or I am going to go up by an ounce when necessary in order to make sure that the weight is correct on all of my items. Okay, now that I have all of the shopping and weighing done for today, that is going to be day one. When done correctly, you can probably knock all of this out in about 3 hours, depending on where you live and how close everything is. Some notes really fast. If you don't have a Staples in your area, you can go to your post office and they will mail or they will measure and weigh the packages before they are actually sent. So that's definitely an option. Or if you work in an office, you might have a mailing scale at your office. If you don't have a dollar store, then earlier I recommended going to a 99-cent only store, or even a Walmart can do it. And as far as thrift stores, I really suggest you Google what's in your local area. You call up the local thrift stores, find out if they have a half off day, if they have a 69-cent tag day sale. Some other great places to get women's clothing can be yard sales. You can look in your own closet, or you can ask your friends and if, or coworkers if they have anything they want to get rid of. So this is the first day of the Flipping 20 challenge. If you want to stay up to date, please subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at New York Thrifter, and I will be using the hashtag Flipping20 to update everyone on my progress. Please join me again tomorrow, where I'm going to be going through how to list on eBay all of the items that I had purchased for this challenge so far.